We're going to talk to our next guest, who's very familiar to Kings fans, about the Houston Rockets, a team that he now is covering. But Ryan Hollins is going to join us in just a moment here. And here's the dang deal, Drapes, that some people are talking about on Twitter. November of 2014, Kings filed protest after last-second loss to Grizzlies. The Kings were leading 110-109, 0.3 left. Vinsanity inbounding the ball. He was playing for Memphis at the time. Marcus Saul set a screen, and then Courtney Lee makes the catch and scores on a reverse layup for the win. The Kings lost a 26-point lead in the game. The Kings protested because they felt that Ryan Hollins, who was guarding Vince Carter, the inbounder, had tipped the ball. Yes. And a replay seemed to indicate he had tipped the ball. Under NBA protest rules, Memphis and Sacramento have to submit evidence that supports their positions on the play in question, and the Kings did not win that protest. So
they did not.
Even though we know if you saw it, you know, because the replay rules were different then.
Yeah.
If you saw the game, you know that the Kings should have won that game because Ryan Hollins tipped it, which means, of course, the clock should have started. By the time Courtney Lee got the ball, the game was over.
Yeah, and I'm looking at what the NBA said about that protest and why it was denied. The commissioner determined that the game officials' call that Lee's shot was timely was within their judgment and not a misapplication of the playing rules. Sacramento's protest, therefore, did not justify the extraordinary remedy of overturning the game's results. Yeah, we got robbed of a win.
Definitely.
Robbed of a win.
Then. Nice enough to join us, legendary King and one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, Ryan Hollins. How are you today, Ryan?
What's up, brother? How you been, man?
Good. It's great to see, how successful you've been here with the Rockets. And I hate to dredge up this old stuff, Ryan, but we mentioned on Twitter that you're going to be on. So some Kings fans right away, ask Ryan if he tipped the ball. Ask Ryan if he tipped the ball, against Memphis, November of 2014. I think we've established you definitely tipped that ball, right?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Vivek actually had a Harvard study on to prove that we tipped the ball because why? That one tip and also with the clock not starting in time would have won the game. It was the last play. So even if I didn't tip the ball technically, when the ball was let go, it wouldn't have gone through the hole. Wow. So I definitely tipped the ball. That's real. And there's actually like a slow-mo and you can see the ball change trajectory from the tip, like it's literally shown. So, but at the end of the day, Memphis was going to the playoffs and we weren't. So maybe that was just like the go ahead.
Yeah.
Ryan Hollins joining us. Hey, Ryan, it's Drapes, man. Kyle Draper. Thanks for jumping on with us. Let's talk about your team, man, the Houston Rockets. What's the vibe like? What are the expectations, I guess, for Ime Udoka's squad?
Well, the expectations are to win and to go out and compete. And a lot of times, what the last 3-4 years was, develop, rebuild, and see what you can do. But right now, there's no look at the draft. The look is with the guys right now, and you gotta love that the front office for Phil Stone and the Fertittas that said we like our group last year and run it back. Add in a Steven Adams. And, a couple of the other young guys. But at the end of the day, this is the same core group that they believe in. And I think that if you're looking at the Western Conference and you're looking how to win in the NBA, obviously you got to have a guy. But if you can take anything from Boston, you got to have depth. They went 10 deep through the whole playoffs. And, one of our young guys kind of takes that next step and you're right there in the mix of things and, anything happens. I'm not saying this is the year, but I'm saying things are being built the right way.
Bro, you're our guy and always will be. But is he hiking or something, Drapes? It sounds like
where you at there, Ryan? Where you at?
What are you up to?
I think it just might be the service. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
No question.
Okay.
Yeah. It just sounded like you were maybe, doing a couple things at once or something, but we got you loud and clear.
Okay.
Hey,
perfect.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. We want to ask you more about the Rockets, but I'm curious, Ryan, how do you think DeMar DeRozan is going to fit in with the Kings?
Man, he'll fit in great because at the end of the day, you need a closer. And DeMar DeRozan can close. He's a veteran. And you got a group that's been really, really young. So now they have a chance to actually have a guy to bring experience. And DeMar DeRozan's as proven as they come, when we talk about products. So I think you got to be ecstatic for his addition. He's an unbelievable individual, man. I remember, DeMar from being a young guy, USC, he's always show up in the gym. He's a gym rat. And I think having a guy to take the other young guys, young budding stars under their wings is something really huge for him. So I'm ecstatic with that.
Ryan Hollins joining us. Ryan, I want to go back to last year and just talk about, why the Kings struggled, I guess, with Houston last year. What did you see in that matchup, and what does Houston do, I guess, that gave Sacramento some problems?
Man, you know what's funny? We actually mirror you guys a lot. That's why. So when the Kings do well, they play really fast. They catch people off guard with their movement. And the Rockets were able to switch a lot of screens. And then the similarities I'm talking is Alp and Sabonis kind of match up with each other, well, as far as big men who can go out and get a triple-double each and every night. De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Green. And then it doesn't help you guys that Jalen's from Fresno. So he's going to be, a little more excited to play against the Kings. But as far as matching up, we're pretty similar squads that are small, like to kind of get up and down and run. And, just some of those matchups are tough. But I think we're a very, very close comparison.
We're catching up with Ryan Hollins. He's doing a preview of the Rockets. He's doing some fine TV work for them now. Şengün, Jalen Green, you mentioned them, Ryan. Neither one has received that rookie extension yet. So what are the Rockets hoping or expecting to see from them this year?
Man, go out and just play ball and compete, and don't take anything for granted, And you got to understand, hey, we're a different organization than Detroit and a couple other players that were able to go out and made sense to extend their guys. So the front office has been absolutely amazing, from signing guys and drafting extremely well. It's actually overachieving there. But I think just giving those guys incentive to go out and earn it. And I think just the message is being sent, really that nothing is given. That we haven't, not just those two, but nobody's really achieved anything yet.
I look at your depth, Ryan, and I feel like there's a logjam there of young players, guys who are still trying to make their name in the league. I'm going to throw Jalen Green in that, Jabari Smith Jr., Amin Thompson, Reed Shepherd now you got, Cam Whitmore. How do you view, I guess, the depth in terms of the young guys and letting them be able to blossom on a team when you also got some veterans like Fred VanVleet on the squad?
Those are rich people problems, man. Young talent that's up and coming. It's like, like the NBA is different than when Whitey was watching Skyhook, in the league where you want to be old. Where now, like, the young talent is a premium, right? Because if one of those young guys excels a little earlier, or you get, hey, one of them becomes the next, megastar, you got 10 plus years of service out of them. So I think those are great problems to have. I'm not a front office. I don't speak to trades or anything like that, but opposing teams are calling out off the hook saying, well, we want that guy. We want that guy. It's a problem when no one's looking at your team as you want anyone on the team, but it's exciting because the whole league is probably calling and blowing up Rafael Stone saying, what about him? What about him? What about him?
But Ryan, isn't it true that, speaking of the skyhook, you tried to teach Şengün the skyhook and it didn't really go so well?
I did. I mean, it's funny though, Whitey. I go to and I knew when I did it, and it was just so natural. I'm getting old. It was so natural, okay? And halfway through, I go, I'm Whitey Gleason. I can't believe this, okay? Halfway through teaching them. And I'm like, just go off one foot. It's unstoppable. And I'm like, I'm saying the exact words Whitey said to me in Sacramento.
Oh my
and then
God.
he's like, he goes, I can only shoot it off 2 feet. I'm like, what? You're so skilled and so talented. Only 2 feet. Kid you not. 3 games later, the dude does the running skyhook in the game, and he's never done it. And I'm like, I'm old. I'm Whitey Gleason. This is really happening. What's going on? Every old guy grabs the young big and goes to the other side of the court and says, let's work on this unstoppable skyhook.
The skyhook, exactly. Unstoppable. Ryan, last question for me, I guess. What's the ceiling for you guys? I feel like, when you look in the West, a lot of people's talking about Memphis. They're talking about Wemby. Are you guys flying under the radar a little bit, you think?
Absolutely. And that's where you want to be, in the sweet spot. We were a game or two out of the getting in the play-in. Again, we talk about depth. I don't think people know how much losing Tari Eason hurt us, because this is a team that is physical, defends, and Ime loves switchable guys, and he just kind of makes things happen. So, man, that really put a damper in our season last year. And then with the addition of Steven Adams, there are a couple games where we were just out-muscled, out-rebounded, underneath, and we get older there. So those are two huge fits. Maybe they're not the DeMar DeRozan that you guys got. Okay, you guys can celebrate.
Yeah.
But these are good, right? These are good character culture fits that you get.
Ryan, how good is Reed Shepherd, and how much of an opportunity is he going to get to play early this year, you think?
I'm intrigued what that is. I think that's wide open. I think early on, my opinion, not the team's opinion, you'll see the older guys play. But Reed is unique. Like, watching him at camp today, he really knows how to get his shot off. He knows when to get off the ball. He knows when to get a shot off. Like, there's a lot of things that he can do. So he's kind of exciting to watch, man. He's got this, like, he's tiny. He probably needs to get in the weight room, all those things. But, like, he's smart, and he doesn't get out muscled either when he's in there, because he just beats guys at spots. Like, his IQ is unbelievable, man. So he'll be fun to watch. And the one thing Reed can do, he's a true combo, where you can see him coming up the court, playing point, or he can get off ball and shoot. But, the premium for today's point guard is to shoot. And that's something Reed can do, but he's got a real good feel when to pass. So you can see him playing with Jalen Green or Fred VanVleet.
Ryan, you're the best, brother. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and we'll see you soon, all right?
Anytime, guys. Keep it up. I appreciate this.
All right. Ryan Hollins, he definitely tipped the ball.
He tipped the ball. Can we go back and get that W? What would the season look like then?
Absolutely.
Right?
What would the history of the Kings look
right.
like?
Who knows, man? They robbed us of a win.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay, for lining that up. When we come back, we got another one of these lists.
Oh, man.
Should we even look
go.
at Hollinger's list of teams in the West that will not live up to expectations?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. I'm pissed off already.
Will the Kings be on that list? We'll find out next. Sactown Sports.